Welcome back to my channel, guys. Time for another volume manga review. Welcome once again. This is going to be on Rejected by the Hero's Party Volume 1. I've actually been wanting to read this one. I thought it was a little bit of a side story to Banished from the Hero's Party, but it's not. It's a little bit different, and I actually really like it. Now, before anything, if you haven't done so by now, make sure you go and subscribe to my channel. Give some love by comments, liking, and sharing. You guys can find me on social media by checking the description below. This is brought to you by Yem Press, and Yem Press is a great company. You guys can find them on yempress.com. They do a lot of manga. Yenon does their light novels. Easy Press does their manhwas, and they release even more. It's a lot of stuff. I truly believe that it is one of the companies that should be well respected and loved, and if you haven't checked them out, please do so and give them some love. So okay, let's talk about the series itself. We're following the life of Princess Rizlet, and I believe, and I'm like 85% sure, she is the princess as well from the Banished from the Hero's Party. Now, it seems like she's living in alternate world in this manga because she is not even accepted in the Hero's Party. And essentially, she is doing so well to her name that she's become an issue in her own country, and that essentially is the first third of the volume. She is not next to the throne. In fact, her brother, who is younger than her, is the one to take the throne next. And essentially what ends up happening is that she, through her heroic adventures and the fact that she is for the people, with the people, she's becoming a threat to her brother without her wanting to be a threat. So she basically is kicked out of the kingdom by her own father, and there is so many things that, like, there's a whole intricate plan behind to kicking her out, and she figures it out and ends up doing it her own way, where no one is hurt and no one is harmed for her own sake. And essentially she ends up leaving the kingdom herself, and in all for the efforts of people not dividing the kingdom for the sake of wanting her to be in leadership. In fact, there's people already in the nobles that were questioning, should he be the next heir or should she be the next heir, right? And that obviously it becomes an issue. So they obviously don't want that to happen, so they were considering already to even kill her if needed. But she leaves peacefully. She ends up going to the edge of the kingdom, living a peaceful life, and there she starts her adventures. The rest of the volume is the beginning and of her adventures, and essentially is her going and fighting all these different missions that are for lower level adventurers, but for her it's easy because she is she's really rank A, right? But because she is a runaway, because she is new to the guild that she's joining, she does have to start essentially from the bottom. So one of the adventures is she chooses to find missing kids, and they kind of just assume that the kids are getting eaten by monsters, or they're getting lost in the forest and then eaten by monsters, which is the same thing. But she sees something beyond that, and she's like, no, there's something fishy about it, right? So she ends up figuring out that it's actually bandits that are human trafficking these kids, and she ends up finding the kids, not all of them, but most of them, and she ends up basically saving them from being sold as slaves and workers to other countries. And yeah, she ends up really doing something very heroic. That's the first mission that she gets. Second mission that she has, it's really helping a noble get out of a weird situation where he owes another being for his work, and he claims that his home is haunted, stuff is disappearing, people are leaving, and that's why he's become in debt. Now he goes and explains that his debt is not his fault, and he gambled his money, and he very much is like a stupid noble, to be honest. Should not really be accountable. Well, he should be held accountable, but he's very gullible, I guess. The volume does end with them figuring out that his home has a secret passage, and they find this being hidden there. And that's, in a nutshell, the first volume. Do I like it? Well, first of all, very much different than the Banished series. The Banished series, I would like, even though there is missions, I like to think that a lot of it is kind of like him starting a new life in the wild, right? Or not really in the wild, but again, the boonies of the kingdom, and the struggles of starting a herbal business and all that. We see that in the Banished series. Now this series, a Rejected series, we don't even see him. It's really just her. There's not really a love interest that she has. So I'm wondering if he will show up as well in this version of the story and become her love interest, or if she's kind of more like girl bossing this whole series, whereas in his series he was more of like the romantic kind. Not really sure, but I'm gonna be honest, I kind of prefer the romance, even though it can deter a little bit from the story. I still prefer it. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one, this series, a 6 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I do have more series in my channel, so if you haven't checked those out, check those out. Give some love to my channel by commenting, liking, and sharing. If you haven't done so by now, check out my other videos that I have here. I have quite a bit of stuff here already posted for you guys. A lot of it is from Yen Press, Easy Press, Yenon, J Novel Club. All these companies are together, and they've been sending me copies to review for you guys. There is a few that are not from them, but most of the stuff is from them. And in reality, if you go to a store, that's kind of how the stores would be. Most of the stuff would be from them. So go check them out, give them some love. Make sure you continue following me, and if you want to see more stuff, go check it out. And like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.